Past 9 now. Time to get the best ideas are free with Ben Young at bwagy.com joining us here this morning in the Kiwi studio. Welcome back, Ben.
Good morning.
Good weekend?
Yeah, real good.
Yep, good times. Interesting news over the past week about this exploration into space and mining of asteroids. What's this all about?
Planetary resources. A new company formed, taking investment from some of the Google founders and co-founders.
Yeah.
Director James Cameron and a few of the key guys from Microsoft.
Is there anything that James Cameron fella can't do? You know, the other week he was down at the bottom of the ocean.
He's feeling like the modern day explorer, isn't he?
Yeah.
I make blockbuster movies and I'll go to the edges of Earth.
Yeah.
Impressive. But they've started this planetary resources to capture asteroids, swing them into the moon's orbit, and then figure out ways to get all the resources off it.
Capture asteroids. Now, how are they planning on doing that?
Really interesting. So it's early days, right? They've set their goal, and the reason they've set their goal is they want to create a new space race.
Right.
And you'll often find that this is what the Google guys are investing in. They're typically investing in new forms of technology which will stretch our expectations. Yeah. Like real visionary technology, like driverless cars.
And they're not talking about going to Mars, are they? I mean, this is an area that no one's sort of ever really thought of before.
Yeah, well, actually, I did a little bit of research, and over the past 30 years, there have been different little focuses on how you could mine asteroids. And NASA did a bit of research into advanced automation, and this was building self-replicating factories that you could send, let's say, to the moon, and they would replicate themselves so you could mine the moon.
Huh.
So there's been a lot of interest in this space, but nothing really tangible.
Okay.
And there was another company which is still looking at something similar called Shackleton Energy. But these guys are the first serious players. And what their aim is to do is to send up some explorers to go figure out which asteroids are going to be quite lucrative. And then what they want to do is capture them with kind of their plans. It looks like a thimble, and kind of the thimble scoops up the asteroid sits inside, and then they use thrusters to boost it into the moon's orbit, and that means it'll keep
going round and round.
Going around the moon. And then, so once they've done that, that's kind of like their holding bay, right?
Yeah.
And then they want to figure out how they get the resources from there back to Earth. And so a lot of asteroids are hugely, hugely rich in terms of platinum, gold, silver, and a whole lot of other minerals. And the interesting thing is these are completely untapped in terms of when you think about minerals on Earth, there's a discrete amount, there's only a certain amount that we can withdraw. When you're pulling it from outer space, you're changing all the economics of it. And there's been a little bit of critique around if you were to bring, let's say, $25 billion of platinum back to Earth, you would kill the whole market.
Well, yeah, because it's just like printing money in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah, how much are you going to pay for a resource which is suddenly not that rare?
Because everything on Earth is based on what's here on Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no interstellar currency, is there?
But it's based on there's only a certain amount, and so the resource is very scarce. So there's been a lot of economists chipping into this saying, look, the actual cost to bring it back is way too high. Someone was saying billions of dollars to bring back the resources.
True, right?
Yeah,
it would have to be.
It is. A big find would drop the local prices significantly, not a little bit, significantly. Imagine if someone brought back a third of the world's gold supply. I know that's an audacious challenge to bring back a third, but they would completely change all the economics of it. The other interesting thing was, can you actually do this? And technologically you can, it's just very expensive.
Okay.
And the aim of this is to reduce those barriers and find a cost-effective way.
Have they explained how, once it's in orbit of the moon, how they'd get it to Earth?
No, so they haven't solved that problem yet. But the founder's really straight up. He said, I'm trying to start a gold rush. He's trying to replicate the space race, and he wants to be one of the players in it. And so it's very visionary. It's incredible. One of the things I was wondering is, who owns asteroids?
Well, no one does. So it's like, well, who owns the moon?
Yeah. So it has been legally tested which is interesting. And no one does own
Yeah.
an asteroid. So if you're there, it's fair game.
Unless it lands in your backyard.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Then you can own it and sell it.
yeah, which is, quite a decent chunk of money.
Yeah.
The other thing is, what kind of resources do you want to bring back first? Which are most rare, and which ones do you want to leave? Like, it just completely changes how you think.
It's kind of which ones are more useful. Because aren't we running out of silicon?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not sure if asteroids are going to have sand on it. Maybe.
And I guess it depends on where these asteroids came from, whether or not they came from the birth of the universe, the Big Bang, or they were chipped off another planet, or... Yeah.
Because that's what their focus is. They want to get these explorer bots up there just to see what is on each asteroid and what the value is. This other company, Shackleton Energy, I believe their focus is on getting to asteroids and claiming ownership of them. Then they're going to figure out the other following steps.
I guess you'd get up there and with a spray can and you'd
you just
put
go,
an X on it.
Glenn was here.
Yeah, it's mine.
2012.
Yeah, planning on getting this sometime.
Yeah.
In the meantime, please leave it alone.
I'll be back in 20 years, 50 years.
They reckon that at any one time we have a bunch of moons in orbit, not just our moon, but a bunch of moons, but we just not detecting them.
Yeah, because the light isn't as strong.
Yeah, and anything that's in orbit,
yeah,
like be just an oddly shaped rock, no matter what sort of size, it can be considered a moon.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, real interesting.
There's a lot of them up there.
Yeah, but I just love that it's really visionary. It's a solid effort. It's backed by really credible people, and I think it's going to help change how we focus on space exploration. There's been a little bit of dabbles with SpaceX competition to get into space, the cheapest, Virgin Galactic. All these things are really good. There's been a lot of discussion in the innovation space that innovation has slowed down. And things like this help set new horizons and help us broaden them. Yeah,
and possibly the mission to Mars really is sort of the distraction. We perhaps might need to be focusing on stuff like this.
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah. Ben Young is at bwagy.com and twitter.com/bwagy.